The month of February is heating up pretty quickly. 2026 has already been 7 mobile games is kind of too good for your own good. Hello friends, this is Mobile and here are 25 new games released this week you might want to consider picking up while it's hot on your Android and iOS. So alright, how to begin this thing? See, Subnautica Mobile might as well be the mightiest PC to mobile port we've had in our hands since PC to mobile ports became a thing. To the extent so successful, developers took it even further. And no longer than a month from now, this is a honorable mention of course since the game's not out yet, Subnautica's next chapter, Below Zero, is landing on Android and iOS. Which is basically, you know, the base game Subnautica, and this time with a frozen twist. The story is you're chasing your sister through an ice world and alien terrain, you know, poking around, resource gathering and habitat building, new tools, vehicles, fully voiced characters, heat management that adds even another pressure, and thankfully there's gonna be some lighter, minor scares at this time. Also a smaller map. Check it out in case you missed it. Coming up behind that, cover shooter or cover shooting or cover shooter gun shooting or whatever is kind of exactly what it says on the tin. You hide behind covers, shoot, repeat, and hope your opponents screw up first. It's a first-person cover shooter game, pretty good, coming out of Turkey this one. It's got, you know, you can fight against AI, which cheats of course, just enough to keep you annoyed, and the real players are either insane or entirely incompetent. Anyway, it's a pretty good game for something free, which is playable also both online and offline. Weapons are pretty punchy. The offline mode is only for mercy, letting you practice dying slowly without judgment. It's not a revolutionary game, but a pretty good one. It's weirdly addictive if you like being mildly humiliated for fun. It's coming from an indie developer that's actually pretty good at making shooters.
Hey, 24 players thrown onto a wild track.
But with that being said, Cosmic Royale feels like someone got tired of shooters stealing the Battle Royale label and decided to do something actually playful with it. You see, it's a 24 multiplayer kart racer game where staying alive matters more than being fast, and like a sloppy turn can end the whole run. The tracks are pretty crowded, as you can see. They're constantly trying to shove you off, which keeps the tension pretty high without turning sweaty. Modes rotate between obstacle courses and in straight up elimination, with Moral Race being specifically cruel. It's a readable game, surprisingly fair, easy to pick up, hard to coast through, free, about 3 GB in total. One problem, the game is available only on the Apple Store right now. But here's the good news. Toilet 8 is the, I don't even know what to call it. It's just a nightmare you didn't even know your bladder signed up for you. See, in this game, which is a puzzle horror game, you're trapped in a infinite hell where every stall looks the same until something slightly off makes you squeeze and question your own eyesight at like 2 a.m. Spot tiny little anomalies before they explode. Or just enjoy panicking like a human popped up in a loony cartoon. There's jump scares in this game, toilet raves, Agent Smith from Matrix to give it depth. Brilliant game, yet dumb enough. It's everything you secretly wanted from a public bathroom. I don't know how else to put it. Well, with that being said, my starter winter car mechanic is for players who don't really mind spending an hour bolting parts together just to feel something. You build a car piece by piece in first person and cool, and the game really makes sure you respect every nut, bolt, and bad decision. Clearly inspired by the game My Summer Car, but you know, it's kind of trimmed down for mobile and surprisingly patient about it. The driving is a bit hard, but purposeful, which fits the vibe. No ads screaming at you, no timers begging for money, just quiet mechanical suffering. If fixing sim games relax you, this one really earns its place. Oh, So, Asphalt Legends Unite slides in next. You see the loud cousin of Asphalt 9 who showed up with better graphics, more content, and a don't worry, I'm free on PC, which is, in my opinion, basically just comfort food for racing fans since you know exactly how it's gonna feel the second you hit the nitro. But here's the thing, the reason the game's in the list is because the Dragonforce crossover, which was released yesterday, fits the series almost suspiciously well. Blasting while the power metal from the Dragonforce band screams in the background just all the way amplifies what Asphalt already does really good. Anyway, still an absolute banger of this game. The visuals are gorgeous, tracks feel movie level dramatic. If you want flashy, fast, high-end, high-speed racing on mobile, this is it. Some games try to hook you with stuff like stats, systems, buzzwords. Abyssita, however, which we came across a couple months ago, hooks you by asking you just a simpler question. What if your real power came from bonds you build, not just the damage numbers you stack? Here's the thing, Abyssita has been announced, like I said, a few months ago, and it's already feeling like it's aiming higher than just another gacha action RPG. Developers are constantly coming up with updates, polish, and just now a release date of February 27th this year. 3 more weeks to go. Abyssita is the new work of the Darkest Days developers and depicts itself as a collectible RPG at heart, and this is really how it looks. We obviously know it's an action RPG as well. Up and coming at number 8, we've got Truckmaster. Definitely not your uncle's truckin' sim, but a full-blown highway takeover, meaning you're not just hauling crates. You're building an empire while stacking rigs that look like they were born in Unreal Engine 5 for mobile game. You've got ice roads that bite to desert lands that burn. Suffice it to say, the real world's just your circuit in this game. You can of course customize your whip, unlock some legendary trucks like the Volvo SNL, and just turn your job into a payday and invest in side hustles if you want it. It's just all there. The challenges, events, PvP, gas all day, why even bother break? And it don't matter if you're grinding solo or showing off online, you will definitely get the best of both worlds for free with this game. Curling Curb is basically chess on ice, but with of course rocks that you shove like really hard. You know the sport game, obviously, you've seen it on the Olympics or before. The whole thing is you slide, you knock and guard your stones in real-time PvP or offline if you want it. Of course PvP is where the precision and timing really matters. The physics feel real with this game. Arenas look great, pulling off a perfect shot is more satisfying than any ride to damn be. Also, who even knew throwing stones on ice could feel this freaking fun? Pretty good game, we give it a solid 9 out of 10.
Your garage startup could be the next billion-dollar IPO.
Coming up behind it at number 10 with the game Free Life, which it feels like something you install late at night before sleep just to witness it backfire at the back of your brain. It's an open world city, it lets you drive, shoot, and exist with very few rules, but everything has that slightly unfinished mobile ambition smell. Think of it as a bargain bin Grand Theft Auto energy with like MMO bits holding it together by hope. The shooting works, the vehicles behave good, and online does most of the heavy lifting. It's not broken enough to be funny, not polished enough to be that good. Still, for a free game swinging this big, it's oddly playable in short bursts. It's a free game, but 3 GB in total.
Mr. Edward Locke, I presume.
Up next at number 11 with Space Station 52, or, Murder on Space Station 52, which is this delightfully well-made murder mystery that sort of proves point-and-click adventure games can still surprise you. So you play as a maintenance guy who shows up to find his predecessor murdered, and spend your time looping through the station collecting evidence, interrogate suspects, and solving puzzles, mostly just brain-melting level stuff. It's got a charming voice acting, very unique art, and a story that keeps you hooked all along. This is a small team masterpiece, sort of, that will highly possibly make any mystery fan grin like a guilty suspect. Not a free game, and even worse, it's an iOS exclusive right now, but if you like puzzle adventures, this one really clicks.
A famous explorer once said, that the extraordinary is in what we do.
Anyone who's played mobile games long enough has been burned by a console classic port that, barely runs and somehow still asks for money. Tomb Raider 2013 coming to Android and iOS feels, however, a little different. Mostly because Feral Interactive has earned some real trust. In fact, this is a full survival trilogy opener, all DLC included, plus extra skills, weapons, skins, and even a new challenge tomb. Touch controls a tune, controller and keyboard support are there as well if you're that hot about it. We haven't really played the game yet, but Feral will definitely stick the landing like they usually do, hopefully making it another Ray mobile port that goes a long way. Tomb Raider is coming out in about 7 days from now. Coming up behind that, it's the Might and Magic Fates, the card game. A strategy card game which is, if you missed it, Ubisoft's probably biggest swing at reviving the Might and Magic universe. Mixing old school factions like Haven and Necro with new RPG mechanics such as hero progression. Right now, matches look like they're kinda chess with fantasy, magic and fireballs. We know you can battle solo, go PvP or just spend hours crafting the perfect deck you wanted while pretending it's not pay to win. The good news is we don't really have to wait that long, as Fates is due in about 48 hours from now, and it's coming to both Android and iOS. Up and coming at number 14, we have Trillionaire Thugs, which sort of feels like someone smuggled a mini PC zombie game in your phone and didn't even bother dumbing it down. One thumb handles running, shooting, fortifying, while zombies trying to remind you why panic exists. Yeah, you gotta loot, upgrade, make defense layers to make it stick. The NFT bits are optional flair, but they're there, and for that it kinda manages to be something hectic, strategy and clever all at once. Like sort of the mobile zombie strategy game you didn't even know you needed. Prior to this, a PC game, now a mobile port. If you missed it before, Mind Cup is a pretty tense, time-pressured detective adventure game where you play as Mind Cup, someone who can actually dive into suspects' thoughts, navigating mental landscapes to uncover clues. You interrogate, piece together evidence before the 5-day clock rounds out, which is the premise. Pretty small game, really precise, clever. In my opinion, Mind Cup really respects your intelligence while keeping the pressure on all along the way. Unfortunately, it's a paid game and available only on the Google Play Store. Astro Party X is probably one of the strangest space shooters that you'll ever play, cause your ship can only turn one way. That's it. You shoot, turn, repeat. The real mayhem actually in this game comes from PvP, reflexes, and kinda knowing every shot counts while your opponent spins himself into oblivion. It's got some retro pixels, great sound, destructible environments. They all hit that sweet spot between nostalgic and frantic. Pretty short game, it's got a demo, gloriously unforgiving. It is free with ads with an optional unlock and playable offline for about $5. Coming up at number 17 with Peekaboo Unhuman, and this is also a PC to mobile port. Peekaboo Unhuman is probably not something you play so much as sit with, and this is very much just the point with the game. It's a kind of a very short, text-heavy narrative game despite the looks of it, that leans quite hard into discomfort and doesn't even flinch once it gets there. The gameplay is sort of minimal, mostly reading, choosing responses, and observing the weight of what's being said, but the writing sort of carries the whole game all along. The game is by no means shock for clicks horror, just intentionally unpleasant. And for $1, it kind of delivers exactly what it promises. Although still in the making, we're counting number 18 with Nova Drift, which looks just like the perfect meltdown. It's a top-down roguelike shooter where your only real goal is to make the galaxy regret existing. Over 300 different upgrades, slightly overwhelming in the best way in gameplay. The original, in fact, the PC port, helped the roguelike shooters shine, and this port really promised to keep the momentum with quick sessions and a UI that's actually built for touch. Pretty good game. One problem, it's $9.99. Oh, that being said, Shimline is one of those rare mobile shooters that actually makes you feel worth the time that you've invested and decided to go down its rabbit hole. You're dropped in a forest, which is also a lot like the game Forest, time ticking down, enemies everywhere, and it's just you auto-shooting a ton of zombies, all demanding on reflex, positioning, and knowing when to rush or pull back. Not an easy game, in fact, it's got permadeath mechanics that turns every playthrough into a high-stakes race. Suffice it to say, it's perfectly almost designed for short and some real brutal sessions. On another hand, the Legend of Zalk is a endless runner that kinda makes corporate candy villains feel dangerous. See, you're a possum with magic powers, dodging monsters and candies while protecting a single, very important cherry. The game's got power-ups which spice things up just enough to keep you moving, and the world is just weirdly charming for just being full of death traps. Pretty fast game, colorful, punishing in a way that feels fair, and the absurd premise of it really sort of makes it memorable. Cavalier's army, however, flips tower defenses on its comfortable zone. And by that, what I mean is that it lets you be the monster instead of the wall. You send waves into towns, pick routes, deploy, nudge things along with dark magic when needed. It's surprisingly tactical, timing, unique choice, and map pressure all matter, even if it kind of looks cute in pixel art. Clever game and just a wreck kinda cruel. A tower defense for people who prefer breaking things over saving them. On another hand, a Fish's Fishing Journey is the kind of game you open when you don't want to do anything. It plays itself in the best way sort of possible. You check in, adjust bait, empty baskets, and let the rhythm carry you. There's no twitch skill, no fake tension, just slow progress, new locations, and a cozy sense of place. The fish collecting, tanks, and upgrades give it enough structure. It's more idle postcard than simulation, and honestly that's just the appeal of it. Simple, calm, easy, and very pleasant to return to. Coming up behind that at number 23, we have Undead Slayer, one of those mobile roguelikes that actually makes you earn everything you see on the battlefield. One thumb handles dodges, attacks, and skills, but survival depends almost entirely on timing and choice. Like compared to the previous game, it's not a idle affair of a game. Got over 40 different skills to pick and choose, 100 plus weapons, multiple classes to find what clicks for you. It's pretty fast, dense, and surprisingly deep for mobile, a game that respects your reflexes and your strategy in equal measure. It's a free game, download it now, it's only free for another 24 hours. At number 24, we've got the game Mystic Realms, which feels like a card game that's made by people who've actually played a lot of card games and are just slightly tired of all of them. You're slinging Thor, Dracula, and cryptids at each other in these quick matches, plus the mythology makes this fun without being try-hard. And the rules are pretty easy to read after a match or two. It plays fast, maybe a little too clean, but for now, it's a pretty solid, sharp, and refreshing card game, especially if you want card battles without a 20-minute commitment per se. And of course, last but not least, we've got the game Subway Surfers City, which is still Subway Surfers. The difference is just the structure. Alongside the classic endless runs, you've got proper level-based sections, it's just tied to different parts of the city, which sort of gives your runs a little bit of endpoint. The movement's been tweaked with things like stomp moves, speed pads, and shields, but nothing really breaking the flow. It looks cleaner, runs smoother, not a reinvention of course, just a smarter sort of remake. Thanks for watching, really hope you enjoyed, let me know which one's your favorite, I'll see you again soon.